Okay, again, this back one's going to be tricky, so let's just start taking bolts off. Wait, what's holding this in? There's a bolt in the back there holding that in. Feels like a 10. Maybe not. Alright, this was an 11 in the back. Alright, so on this is the nut, and there's this ground connected that was going in the nut, and now it feels as though there is another. This is connected to a stud, and then this should come off. 12, 13. Okay, so that's that. We're going to put everything together. Okay, so I didn't show it because it's super boring and you can't see anything anyway, but I just got the rest of those bolts back there. So now, this should theoretically be able to be lifted out. There it is. Break that seal. Let's just unplug this. There, so we can pull that out of the way. There it is. Oh, and just drop all the bolts on the floor. That's going to be annoying. Alright. I put some RTV on those joints like last time, and we're just going to carefully slide this in with the new gasket on and the new spark plug seals. I'm going to pull these out to do the tightening. Sorry if the lighting sucks for you guys. Oh. Alright, so next we need to put, I already did this one, we need to put all the little, on top of the studs there's these smaller nuts that hold in various electrical connectors and brackets and such. So in the back we have this pipe that was connected to the top of these two studs on the valve cover. I didn't mention it last time because I skipped that because it was boring. But each one, this pipe has tabs which go over the studs, and each tab is held in by these 8mm nuts. Alright, so that's in place. Okay, next we have this bracket thing, and that's gonna go on like this. And then we have this stud here that will connect it in the back. 13mm, by the way. I don't remember if I said that. Alright. And then there's this ground wire, remember? I'm just gonna take some sandpaper and clean this up. So that goes on the stud we just put in, and then that's held in by a nut. Oh, I dropped the nut. Let's see if I have another one. Okay, I had an extra bolt in the bolt bin. So next we have, let's reconnect these guys, and then this goes here. Okay, and alright, almost forgot these two bolts in the middle. Okay, I got all my parts in, and we're going to start by putting the new spark plugs in. Put some anti-seize on the threads, and then put them in. Alright, I'm going to continue to do all the rest of them off camera. Okay, now we're ready to put the new coil module thingy back on. Alright, plug it in. Oh, I forgot, this guy was on this one. Got the intake flipped over. We're going to remove all of these guys. Alright, let's put it on the car. Before we put the intake on the car, let's put this guard back. So we have this hose, this thick hose in the back that goes on the bottom. So let's try to put that on. Make sure all the seals are still on there. I put the intake on without putting on the new spark plug boots. So let me do that now. Okay, I got them. If you didn't take meticulous notes, like I didn't, you get all different size wires, but it's pretty easy to figure out which one goes where. The wires that go on the front are the longest. Specifically, this one here is the longest, and then they just get shorter. So it's pretty easy to figure it out. I'm going to put the intake back on rather. So before I put the intake on, I just put this guy back on since it's easier to put on while the intake is off. Sorry about the rain outside. Alright, so now we're going to tighten the intake, and I have a 1/4 inch ratchet. I'm holding it like this, and we're going to tighten it in a spiral pattern. And we're going to do it a little bit at a time so everything can compress. That way we know that everything is seated evenly. not going to kill these things. That's why we're holding the ratchet like this. This is plastic. Just a little bit. I go until they're all the same sort of tightness, and then I really just, here's the last one. That's all it is. You don't need a lot of force. You need to get it even and consistent. There it is. Okay, we're on the left-hand side. We're going to reconnect this. Well, first let's do the double vacuum line. So you can see, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see. See how one is longer than the other? That tells you which one goes in which. So there's a long port and a small one. And you have to match the small one here with the one that's sticking out more. So the small one goes on the top. And it goes in just like that. This is the purge solenoid, I believe. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. And then let's connect that. We're by the throttle body now. We need to find the electrical connectors. This big one goes on the DPS, and then this other one goes on the idle air control valve. Alright, we have this big vacuum line to attach here. Next we got to put the air box on, so we have let's move this stuff out of the way here. This goes underneath. Let's attach the electrical connector for the mass airflow sensor first. And then let's fish this down, push the cables out of the way. There it is. Put that on there. And then we'll clip this in. And then we have, let's make sure you guys can see, this vacuum line goes here. See, everything kind of just falls where it's supposed to go. This one goes there. Hope those are tight enough. And this one goes there. Okay. Alright, we can't forget about the Egr valve. So the holes for the gasket are just big enough. You have to kind of thread them into it, at least for the top one. So let's get this into position here. Now the bottom one can flex around a little bit, so let's pull it down until we're in there. And then we will tighten these in. Alright, let me find that vacuum line before I tighten those down. I found the line, but the boot fell off, so I had to get a small piece of vacuum line and just connect them like that. This car seems to have a lot of trouble with vacuum lines and the boots at the end of vacuum lines, so maybe I'll tie that down. Alright, let's start it up and see what happens. First I gotta clear the codes. Here we go. I forgot to tighten this. The snorkel part, so let's start it up now. vacuum leak by the EGR. Let me fix that. Alright, let's try that again. Huh, weird. Alright guys, it's a bit later and I was fishing around for this vacuum leak and I just couldn't find it, and then hang my light up here. All of a sudden I realized there was a hose I forgot to connect on the bottom of this guy. So I said, oh great, perfect, connected the hose, I got way better, but it was still running funny. So I start reaching my hand under there and feel another hose. Remember that big hose? With the big clamp on it that goes right under here on the intake, that is all kind of rotted away, and there's a hole that developed on the side of it, and it's kind of this weird part where it goes to like an inch diameter to 3/4 of an inch. So I am not quite sure how I can fix it right now. I might have to go to the dealer and get the actual part. So that's kind of what's going on. This is really annoying. I wanted this to be done, but I guess these kind of things just happen. Alright, it's Monday and I just got back from the dealer and I got a new part. You can see they said it was a common problem, so this new version is reinforced, and I'm gonna go put it on. I'll do that off camera though. Alright, let's try this again. Really? Another one? Oh my god. Okay, now we are improvising. I just put a bigger tube over the crack for now, and we're gonna see if that works. Alright, let's try this again. Man, finally! Gee! Let's let it sit. Okay, I just drove it around for a good 25 minutes, half an hour, and it was awesome. There was no misfirings, no check engine light, so it looks like this one's good to go. So that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.